The Pittsburgh Steelers hire an offensive coordinator, and it's one that you might not have wanted if you're a Steelers fan. Welcome back to Mike Drop Sports, everybody. I'm your host, Jason, and we're diving into this news today. It just broke a little bit ago, but I've been waiting all day to put out this content because I had a real gut feeling that Arthur Smith was going to be hired by the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's kind of like a Tomlin move if you think about it, if you really look at what the Steelers want to be identity-wise on offense. The Pittsburgh Steelers want to run the football. They want to use heavy play action pass. And Arthur Smith is the guy that did that in Tennessee. He didn't have success in Atlanta. He got fired as the head coach. But those are two different jobs, guys. Way different jobs. The head coach is supposed to be the overseer of the whole program, as opposed to an offensive coordinator that's dealing with one group. So we'll see how Arthur Smith does. I'm not really thrilled with this hire. I don't think that it's the best move for the Pittsburgh Steelers as a franchise, but perhaps they know something we don't. Arthur Smith did have success breeding a mediocre quarterback and bringing him along in Ryan Tannehill. Then you had the run game flourish with Derrick Henry. So the Steelers want to be in a similar spot. They want to run a similar offense. They want that to be their identity because I think the Steelers believe that philosophy to win late in the season. I think they believe that if you can grind the football out and control the clock and use play action pass, that you have a recipe for success. And I think that that's where they want to stay. And I think that that's how Arthur Smith coaches offense. And I think that the Steelers could possibly flourish with a guy like Arthur Smith if that be the case. If they can get the proper personnel in there, run more heavy packages, because you will see that with Arthur Smith. More 12, 13 personnel, big jumbo sets. You're going to see it a lot next year in 2024, and it's going to be a thing of beauty if they can get it to work, but it could be a real thing of disaster if it fails. Arthur Smith, we have some of his statistics out here. As the Atlanta Falcons head coach, 3 consecutive seasons of losing at 7-10, unable to get the talent there to start going and start playing. Yes, they lacked at the quarterback position greatly, and it is hard to win in this league without a franchise quarterback. And I think, though, the Steelers are kind of in the same boat. We're not really sold on Kenny Pickett. Mason Rudolph is going to be a free agent. You're not sure if he's going to be back, but there are very big question marks at that quarterback position. And Arthur Smith, without a quarterback, suffered mightily, guys. He failed mightily. 7-10 for 3 consecutive years from the year 2021 till present. He was just recently fired. Then, as the Tennessee offensive coordinator, he had some pretty good numbers. I'll say that. I won't bore you and read them all off. But he had 2019, 2020. Those are big years of success for the Tennessee Titans with the run game, with the play action pass, with Ryan Tannehill being the guy that got the job done. And there's nothing wrong with having a game manager, serviceable type quarterback. You can win with that. You can win with that type of scheme in the NFL. And scheme means everything in the NFL, guys. You can have all the great personnel you want, but without the proper scheme, it doesn't work and it doesn't fall into place. And the Steelers, I think, realize that with their quarterback situation. I think that going with a guy like Arthur Smith could cover some of those deficiencies. And I think that that's really what they're trying to do. I don't think that they really truly believe that Kenny Pickett is going to be a Patrick Mahomes, a Josh Allen type guy. I mean, duh, it's out there. It's not going to happen. So they really are trying to gear this offense into a more game manager type, scheme oriented offense. You're not going to want to play a ton of backyard football like you do see with a Patrick Mahomes, a Josh Allen, where the protection breaks down, where the plays break down, and they use their legs and they use their talent to make exciting plays. You're not going to see that a ton in this offense. This offense is going to be more structured, guys. You're going to see more scheme oriented to set up what they want to do to be successful. Now, you're going to need Kenny Pickett at times to still be that gunslinger back there, that guy that's still going to be able to move around if he does start with what Mike Tomlin said. If Mike Tomlin still rides with Kenny Pickett, and You might see Kenny Pickett maybe not start. We'll see how this offseason goes, but the quarterback position is going to be pivotal if in terms of watching how this offense develops. And again, if you go with what Mike Tomlin says as Kenny Pickett is the guy moving forward, you're going to make sure that Kenny Pickett's scheme-oriented success, that's what you're going to try to gear up for. You're going to try to make sure that Kenny Pickett is in the right situation and that he's able to read the defense in order to audible into the right situations, in which Kenny Pickett is going to have to improve on that level of identifying defenses, identifying coverages, identifying blitz packages. You're going to have that from Kenny Pickett this season if he is under center. Say the Steelers go out and sign a guy back like Mason Rudolph, I think you could get a little bit more done. I think the play action pass could work a little bit better, and I think that his ability to see the defenses now and dissect them and identify all the things that we just listed for Kenny Pickett, I think is a couple years ahead of what Kenny is right now. So you're looking at Mason Rudolph saying that he is the more veteran guy and he's going to be able to succeed with a better scheme more quickly than Kenny Pickett would be able to with Arthur Smith as the new offensive coordinator in the city of Pittsburgh. And I really want to know what you guys think about this hire. I really want you to hammer down in these comments, hit the like button, all that fun stuff, but I want to know what your thoughts are. And if you think the Steelers really fouled up and messed this choice up, if you really think they dropped the ball in terms of picking the next offensive coordinator in the city of Pittsburgh, these are the rumors swirling that he's going to be hired. It wouldn't be swirling that this hard if it weren't to be true. Mike Tomlin probably leaked it out to somebody, and now here we go. So everybody is biting on it, and it's pretty damn sure that Arthur Smith is going to be the next offensive coordinator, and look for an introductory press conference soon. And I want to know what you guys think of it. In my eyes, guys, I think the Steelers failed. I feel like this is a failing grade going with 41-year-old Arthur Smith, former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, former offensive coordinator of the Tennessee Titans. I think this is a failure because I think if you're the Steelers, you needed to come up with a little bit of a more modern offense. And I think reverting to Arthur Smith is too much of a safe bet. I don't think the Steelers really risked a ton here. I think that they really wanted to stay safe and stay within the constraints of what they know. And that necessarily isn't a good thing in my eyes, guys. I think the Steelers really needed to take a risk and swing for a home run with this. And what was the worst that could happen? You're stuck with a guy for a year or two that sucks. We already just did that in the city of Pittsburgh with Matt Canada, and they let him fail over and over and over again. That's why I think swinging for the fences would have been the best thing for them. Did the Steelers get scared? And we did content yesterday talking about that this search was becoming a disaster because the people were getting picked up. Faces were moving to different teams. People were getting checked off the list. Okay. But the Steelers, did they panic? Did they say, shit, we got to secure a guy now instead of waiting for a guy just per se, Clint Kubiak? Instead of waiting and trying to get that guy, they kind of panicked a little bit and were thinking to themselves, this could be over quickly. There could be nobody left. And maybe they heard some rumors about Clint Kubiak possibly staying with the 49ers and not moving on anywhere else. Or maybe he was really geared toward another team that he could be interviewing with. Maybe there's some inside information that swayed them into jumping to make this decision quickly and getting this out of the way for the 2024 season. The Pittsburgh Steelers are now set at the coaching staff right now. They're both coordinators are in the building, coordinators of this future for the Steelers this upcoming season, the head coach. So the core of this staff is really solidified now moving into next season. And the Pittsburgh Steelers now have to main focus on what? Player personnel and really trying to fix the deficiencies that they have all across the board in the Steel City. All right, guys, until next time, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace.